Hello everyone, in this video we talk about the basis of a peaceful life. There comes a quiet moment in life, sometimes after a long argument, sometimes after a silent dinner, sometimes in the stillness of an early morning, when we begin to see clearly what truly matters. It is not the victory we fought so hard to claim, nor the pride we guarded like a fragile treasure. It is something softer, deeper, and far more enduring, the simple, profound presence of love. A peaceful life does not begin with external success, wealth, or even perfect circumstances. It begins within the invisible choices we make every day, especially in the delicate space between your ego and your heart. When love becomes bigger than ego, when connection matters more than being right, life begins to soften, and in that softening, peace quietly enters. Ego is not always loud, it is not always shout or demand attention. Sometimes it whispers, it tells us, you deserve better. It insists, you must not lose. It reminds us, if you give in, you will be less. And so we hold our crown, we protect our pride, we sharpen our words, we prepare our defenses. But what are we really protecting? Often behind the ego is fear, the fear of being unseen, unappreciated, and unloved. Ego builds walls where love longs to build bridges. It turns conversations into competitions and relationships into battlegrounds. In its grip, even the smallest disagreement can grow even deep emotional distances. Love, on the other hand, moves differently. Love does not rush to win. Love listens. Love pauses. Love asks, what matters more, this moment of being right or a long journey of being together? When we allow love to be greater than ego, something remarkable happens. We begin to choose understanding over judgment. We begin to choose kindness over correctness. We begin to realize that winning an argument often means losing a piece of the relationship. And relationships, whether between husband and wife, parent and child, or even close friends, are delicate gardens. They do not flourish under the harsh sun of pride. They grow in the gentle light of patience, humility, and care. Why does ego destroy so many relationships? Because ego seeks separation. It defines me versus you. It measures, compares, and keeps score. It remembers every wrong and forgets every act of love. It builds a quiet ledger in the heart. I give more, I suffer more, I deserve more. But love does not keep score. Love remembers differently. It recalls the small kindnesses, the shared laughter, the moment when two people choose each other, not perfectly but sincerely. Love understands that no human being is without flaws and yet still worthy of grace. When ego leads, relationships become fragile, words become weapons, silence becomes punishment, distance grows, sometimes so slowly that we do not notice until one day we wake up feeling like strangers. But when love leads, Even imperfections become part of the bond. Mistakes are not endings, they are invitations to understand each other more deeply. So, what is the secret sauce for happiness? It is not complicated, though it's not always easy. It is the quiet decision again and again to let love to be bigger than pride. It is the willingness to say, I might not be completely right. It is the courage to say, I'm sorry, even when it feels uncomfortable. It is the wisdom to step back and ask, is it worth damaging something precious? Happiness is not found in always being right. It is found in feeling connected, safe, and understood. There is a certain kind of peace that comes when you stop trying to win every moment. You begin to breathe differently. Your heart feels lighter. Conversations become softer. You listen not to respond but to understand, and life, without changing its outer form, feels entirely different. So, how do we live this way? We begin with awareness. Notice when ego rises. It often shows up quickly during disagreements, in moments of criticism, and when we feel misunderstood. Instead of reacting immediately, pause. Give yourself space between feeling and action. Ask yourself gently, what am I protecting right now? My pride or my relationship? Then choose consciously. Choosing love does not mean allowing disrespect or losing your voice. It means expressing yourself with care rather than aggression. It means understanding your crowd without hardening your heart. It also means practicing humility, not as weakness, but as strength. True strength lies in the ability to bend without breaking, to listen without defending, to love without conditions. Another way to live peacefully is to release the need for protection in yourself and in others. Much of our ego is tied to the expectations, how things should be, how people should act, how life should unfold. When reality does not match those expectations, frustration grows. But life is not meant to be perfect, it's meant to be experienced. When we accept this, we become more forgiving, more patient, more open, and finally, mutual gratitude. Gratitude shifts the heart away from lack and toward abundance. It reminds us of what we have instead of what we think we are missing in relationships. Gratitude softens its edges. It helps us to see the good that often goes unnoticed. The peaceful life is not a life without conflict. It is the life where conflict does not destroy connection. It is a life where love is given more power than ego, where understanding speaks louder than pride, where relationships are valued more than victories. At the end of the day, people rarely remember who won the argument, but they always remember how they were made to feel. So choose wisely, choose love again and again, because that is a choice lies the true foundation of the peaceful, happy life.